Imagine waking up one day to find out that your Social Security benefits are frozen, with no more raises to help you keep up with the rising costs of living. For millions of Americans who rely on these payments, this could be a reality sooner than expected. In this video, we're going to explore a controversial proposal that suggests freezing Social Security benefits, including retirement and disability payments. We'll break down why lawmakers are considering this drastic move, what it really means for your future, and the truth about the financial health of the Social Security program. Stick around to understand how this could impact you and why it's more important than ever to be informed about the future of Social Security. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Financial Area for more in-depth analysis of issues that matter to your financial future. There is a growing concern among lawmakers about the future of Social Security, and one of the most drastic ideas being discussed is freezing Social Security benefits. This proposal suggests that the federal government stop raising benefits, meaning no cost of living adjustments, COLAs for retirees or individuals with disabilities who rely on these payments. For millions of Americans, these yearly increases are vital to keeping up with inflation, which steadily erodes the purchasing power of fixed incomes. Freezing benefits could have serious consequences for those who are already struggling to make ends meet, especially older adults who rely on Social Security as their primary or only source of income. The idea of freezing benefits stems from a desire to address the long-term sustainability of the Social Security program. Lawmakers argue that, in light of the projected funding shortfalls in the future, drastic measures are needed to ensure the program remains solvent. However, this proposal raises significant concerns. Many individuals living on Social Security would find it harder to cope with rising costs like healthcare and housing, which are rising faster than the benefit amounts. While lawmakers claim they are responding to a crisis, many critics argue that freezing benefits would only make the situation worse, particularly for the most vulnerable populations. The proposal to freeze benefits is a reflection of the growing tension surrounding Social Security's funding. Despite fears of insolvency, Social Security isn't bankrupt. It currently holds over $2.7 trillion in reserves and continues to receive steady income from payroll taxes. However, the long-term projections paint a different picture, with concerns about the aging population and shrinking worker-to-beneficiary ratio. While freezing benefits might temporarily save money, critics argue that it fails to address the underlying issues causing the program's future financial strain. It raises the question, would such a freeze truly protect the system, or would it simply shift the burden onto the very people who depend on it the most? Social Security's current financial standing is often misunderstood, with many people believing the program is on the brink of bankruptcy. In reality, Social Security holds a trust fund of approximately $2.7 trillion, a substantial reserve built up over decades of contributions. Additionally, the program continues to receive a steady flow of income from payroll taxes, which are collected from workers' wages. This consistent revenue ensures that, in the short term, Social Security can meet its obligations to beneficiaries without immediate concern of insolvency. These reserves, combined with ongoing payroll tax income, offer a sense of stability, especially in the near future. Despite these seemingly solid reserves, the concern arises from the long-term outlook. The Social Security program faces a demographic challenge as the baby boomer generation ages and the number of retirees increases. Meanwhile, the number of workers contributing to the system is shrinking due to lower birth rates and longer life expectancies. This imbalance means that in the coming decades, Social Security's revenue from payroll taxes may not be enough to cover the benefits owed to beneficiaries, leading to a projected shortfall. According to current estimates, this gap could begin to widen in the 2030s, potentially reducing the program's ability to pay out full benefits. As a result, lawmakers are scrambling to find ways to keep the system solvent in the long term. One of the proposals that have been gaining traction is the idea of freezing benefits to preserve funds. This suggestion argues that, by halting cost of living adjustments, COLAs, the government can save significant money in the short term. However, this approach overlooks several important factors. First, while Social Security has substantial reserves now, the increasing number of beneficiaries in the future will place additional pressure on the program. The growing demand for benefits, combined with a shrinking pool of contributors, could eventually overwhelm the system, even with the existing reserves. Freezing benefits may offer temporary relief, but it does not address the fundamental issues of future funding shortages. Freezing benefits also fails to account for the rising costs that beneficiaries face, particularly in healthcare and housing. For individuals relying on Social Security as their primary income source, the inability to adjust benefits to keep up with inflation could mean falling behind financially. With COLAs currently in place, Social Security payments rise slightly each year to account for inflation, helping beneficiaries maintain their purchasing power. Without these adjustments, individuals would see the real value of their benefits erode over time, leaving many to struggle with the same or less income while the cost of living continues to climb. Thus, while freezing benefits may save money in the short term, it risks creating a long-term crisis for beneficiaries who are already living on fixed incomes. One of the primary concerns driving the debate over Social Security is the cost of living adjustment, COLA, which increases benefits each year to help recipients keep up with inflation. While COLAs are essential for protecting the purchasing power of beneficiaries, they also represent a growing financial burden for the Social Security program. As inflation rates rise, so too does the total cost of these adjustments, which some lawmakers argue is contributing to the program's projected future insolvency. This has led to discussions about reducing or even eliminating COLAs to lower the financial strain on Social Security. An alternative proposal gaining traction is to limit COLAs for higher-income beneficiaries. This idea targets those who receive above-average Social Security payments, particularly individuals with additional retirement savings or other income sources. By reducing or freezing the COLA adjustments for these individuals, proponents argue that the program could save substantial funds while still providing adequate support for lower-income retirees who rely more heavily on Social Security. This approach seeks to balance fairness with financial sustainability, ensuring that those who are most dependent on the program receive adequate adjustments while reducing the cost burden on the system. However, this solution is not without its challenges. Critics argue that limiting COLAs for higher-income individuals could be seen as unfair, penalizing beneficiaries who have worked hard and contributed to the system over their careers. Additionally, the potential savings from such measures may not be enough to solve the broader funding challenges facing Social Security. While high-income beneficiaries might receive smaller adjustments, the core issue remains that Social Security's reserves are projected to dwindle as the population ages and fewer workers contribute to the system. Even with these adjustments, the program still faces a significant long-term gap that freezing or limiting COLAs does not fully address. Moreover, proposals like these raise important questions about the overall fairness and effectiveness of such cuts. Reducing COLAs for those with higher benefits may seem like an easy way to save money, but it does little to address the larger issue of funding shortfalls. Instead of focusing solely on cutting benefits or making temporary adjustments, experts argue that more sustainable solutions are needed, such as reforming payroll taxes, increasing contributions from high earners, or adjusting eligibility criteria. Without a comprehensive strategy to address the program's long-term solvency, limiting or freezing COLAs could merely delay the inevitable crisis and worsen the situation for everyone, not just those with higher benefits.